Are Necrarch Vampire Lords any good in patch 5.3? This is not simply a different version of a Master Necromancer as a reward for unlocking the Bloodline. Oh no, not at all. There is also a special skill you have mentioned in recent comments is Busted, which affects the helpfulness of the character, but hey, they're permanently immortal from rank 1 once you unlock them, so just that luxury is nice. Let's take a closer look at what they provide. Upkeep of 250 dark magic erases the budget advantage of the Master Necromancer. On foot, health of 4068 is more what you'd expect from Vampire Lords, and indeed, armor 70 is way higher than the Necromancers. So we're seeing this as an actual Vampire Lord, really. Missile resistance 15% as standard, leadership is 80, which is on par with the Vampire Lords, speed is 38, charge speed 44. Melee attack begins at 50, 20 less than the regular Vampire Lord, 20 more than the Master Necromancer. Attack interval 4, medium splashing at size, and max of 8 targets damaged is like the others. Melee defense 40 is a lot more like the Master Necromancer. Weapon strength of 430 is a small chunk less goodly than the regular Vampire Lord, split between base 280 and armor piercing 150, but that's still insanely better than the Necromancers. I know, broken record. Charge bonus is 20 and mass is 600. On a Bartered Nightmare, health shoots up to 4680, armor 290, speed 78, charge speed 108, charge bonus 45, mass 1500, what we'd expect. But since he can actually fight, no complaints. Upkeep rises to 300. It's 350 for the Hellsteed version, armor back down to 70. Nothing else is anything unexpected. Finally, upkeep is 525 when he's on a zombie dragon mount. As in, oh yeah, he gets one of those too. So what's the difference between him on a zombie dragon and a standard Vampire Lord? 12 more upkeep, 2 less melee attack, 10 less melee defense. As in, that's it. For those ridiculously tiny trade-offs, he's there to punch face against Griffin or Wyvern or Fire Chicken alike. There's nothing special about his traits, so I'll move on. In the skill tree, of course, the blue and red lines are completely unchanged. He does get the trio of Dark Majesty, Dark Pact, and Grave Ward. See the Vampire Lord video. Told you I'd refer back to that to save time later. For the spell tree, yeah, this is different. Like the Strigoi, he starts with the basic Nehek and the Curse of Undeath for Lore Vampire's passive, although, unlike the Strigoi, he can actually overcast Neheks. But the spells he can get next are Spirit Leech, like the Strigoi, Pan's Impenetrable Pelt from Lore Beasts, and Raise Dead. Note that the Necrarch does not get Master of the Dead, including the range increases for this spell. He does get Evasion. The advanced spells here are the Curse of Arnahir from Beasts and Purple Son of Xerius from Death, and far be it for me to call this bad. Both are very solid spells, and that Beast's Curse is one of the few of its kind in this game that competes with Curse of Years, in my humble estimation. Earthing and magical reserves are the usual, but at the end of the Corrupted Rainbow, you get Greater Arcane Conduit, so that's 60% increased magical reserves, and wait, that had 115% spell mastery value, so your spells hit harder? Ooh. By the way, that's not present for the demo combats. It's only campaign. Before moving on, the Necrarch has a truncated yellow line. He begins with the Hunger, can get Beguile for up to plus 12 melee defense, Quick Blood for plus 12 melee attack, Curse of the Revenant for plus 15% hit points, Supernatural Horror for causes terror permanently, and, okay, you may actually want that. You can get that with 2 pips, no restrictions. Finally, Dark Protection is a self-buff 90-second cooldown, 20% damage resistance, aka ward save, plus 24 melee defense, 30-second duration. That's an efficient way to keep your lord resisting damage and makes his flying caster forays easier. And all you need is 4 pips in the previous truncated yellow line, not including the Hunger. There's a special line, and here's where the warnings matter. Available at rank 6, Cynosaur gives minus 10% miscast chance and plus 10 to Winds of Magic reserve capacity. And no, I didn't practice saying that beforehand, so if it's not pronounced correctly, too bad. Wild Heart adds the Beast passive, so your Winds recharge jacks up with even the smallest spell. Life Leeching adds the Death passive, adding to reserve total quantity. It's not much, but it adds up. What is this, Kyra's stuff? Anyway, the last one is Nehekara's Noble Blood. So, yeah, roots in the old country. 1 pip is supposed to give miscast chance minus 10%, minus 2 to basic Nehek cost, and 2 more uses of Raise Dead. 2 pips raises that by 3 uses of Raise Dead, minus 3 to Nehek upgraded, the overcast version, and minus 20% miscast chance. So what was busted about this? The only source I see on the net implies the basic Nehek benefit is lost when he gets the 2nd pip. So I'm relying on your comments on if this is accurate and basically if anything about this is working as intended. At all. So how do we use the Necrarch? Well, I don't want to waste your time. As a blend between Vampire Lord and Master Necromancer, he's a really good support for Necromancers, the heroes, with Wind of Death through High Wind's Recharge, or for normal Vampire heroes for that matter. He's balanced, strong, and survivable. And on a zombie dragon, he hits pretty hard. He can also reduce damage incoming to him when doing flybys with Purple Sun. So what about the rest of the toolkit? See, aside from the Curse spell that's just plain awesome as a support spell, it comes down to Pan's Pelt. What kind of units in the roster would really benefit from this? The effect is proportionally greater the lower the armor of a unit for physical resistance, or just in general being able to raise melee defense by plus 24. High hitting power, low chin units will disproportionately benefit. We begin with the Vargheists, but I think a case can be made that this synergizes extremely well with your ethereal units, largely Hex Wraiths, for the speed involved. The paradox of this unit is that you want to abuse 3 passives, but you're kind of strapped for an ultra-low wins cost option if that pip is busted, so in practice with Pan and basic Spirit Leech coming down to 6 wins, it falls to the humble Raise Dead at 5 wins to be your best option for that. That's purely if it's doing something useful for you. No cast range increase, but that's less of a concern with a flying lord. That about covers it. Wind of Death isn't the only spell out there. The reduction in the travel speed of Purple Sun makes it pretty viable as a blob killer, and the support capability is perfect for supporting your low-chin, high-power units like Vargheists, though it'll keep Dire Wolves alive too, if that's an issue. The Dire Pack, maybe. Other cavalry can benefit because melee defense isn't usually their specialty, that's more for your Grave Guard. Wormghouls are kinda squishy against the wrong thing, so between them and something like Crypt Horrors, you have usage. And if it's not a magical attack situation, your casters are going to enjoy the benefits too. So there's stuff. Take care and have fun leeching the life out of your enemies with a proverbial wild heart by spreading the curse of undeath.